All right, here we go to the second game. The Blue Devils dropped the first one to Labette Cardinals. Josh Roppo, they turned things around rather quickly. The field needs to be cleared up for a couple of practices for the MIAA games. So I haven't got all my paperwork done, but I think we're ready to go. We'll rock and roll as best we can. First pitch by Carnegie is taken strike one. Carnegie was 1 for 2 in the first game with a double and a sac fly. There's a swing and a miss so quickly. 0-2. Roppel is up on him. Have a few changes. We'll try and get those to you as we go. Carnegie, Everett, and Acosta scheduled up for the top of the first here in the Blue Devils. There's a foul ball back to the screen, so 3 straight strikes, and the third one spoiled by Carnegie. The right-hander, Roppel, is a tall right-hander that throws sidearm. Little different angle for the Blue Devils to look at. There's a foul ball out of play over the right field sign. So 4 pitches, 4 strikes, 2 of them fouled away. 0-2 the count on Carnegie. Here the first hitter of the second game in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Collingsworth. He will catch both games, it appears. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I missed one, the ball. Nonetheless, still 1-2 the count on Carnegie. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Roppel nibbling at that outside corner. Foul ball back into the screen again. So Carnegie hooked up in a battle with Roppel, the starter for Labette in this second game. Comes the 2-2. Foul ball again. Don't think Carnegie knows it, but he is out. Trying to figure quite why, unless his hands were over home plate and therefore going to be a strikeout. It's going to bring up Everett. Everett was 1 for 2 with a couple of walks, a base hit, and a ground out in the first game. A little bit outside and low. To the catcher, Griffin Everett. Everett getting catching duties both games today. Inside. 2-0 the count on Everett. Foul ball down the right field line and out of play. Scoreboard's going. Balls and strikes. That's okay and outs. It helps me better than nothing. That ball just misses. inside ball 4. It's going to bring up Acosta. Acosta was 1 for 3 in the first game. Had a base hit to left field. He'll step in with Everett over at first. Swing and a miss. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. 0-1 the count on the shortstop, Eduardo Acosta. Strike called. 0-2 the count. Runner at first. 1 out walk to Everett. Acosta at the plate, the shortstop. Runner goes, misses just a little bit inside. Actually bluffed going. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball headed into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Everett's headed for third, and he's going to be in there. So a base hit, single, and Everett moves to third. One out, couple of runners on at second and third for the Blue Devils. They've got something going here in the top of the first. Going to have a quick visit to the mound. Forties is partnering with KCK Baseball for our third season to bring fans live stream broadcasts of Blue Devils baseball. Whether you're a business looking to advertise, alumni who wants to give back to the program, or a parent/grandparent who wants to help financially, there's an option for you. For details, go to www.forties.com and click KCK Baseball. All right, the visit is over. Sosa will step in. Sosa was 0 for 4 in the first game, had a couple flyouts, reached on an error and grounded out. Be a good time for him to get his first hit of the day right here. Strike called on the outside corner at the knees. A little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Comes the pitch. Foul ball out of play. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Roppel on the mound for the Cardinals. Sosa at the plate for the Blue Devils. Shallow center field. That ball is going to drop. Going to be a base hit, and into second base is Sosa with a base hit. Double to center field for an RBI. So that's going to bring up Henry. Henry was 0 for 3 in the first game, couple strikeouts and a fly out to deep right. He steps in with runners at second and third, 1 run in on that hit to shallow center field by Sosa. Comes the stretch in, the first pitch to Henry. Swing and a miss of that fastball. One out. Foul ball. 0-2 the count on Henry. Runners at second and third. Acosta at third. Sosa at second. 1 run in the top of the inning here, top of the first. Blue Devils lost the first one 3-2 to Labette. The first game, it was a 7. This will be a 9 inning. Curveball called strike 3. 2 down. It's going to bring up Hoover. Hoover, the right fielder. Hoover was 0 for 2 in the first game, had a couple flyouts and a hit by a pitch. He'll be up there with 2 outs. Runners at second and third for the Blue Devils. 1 run in. There's a ball headed for left field. That's going to score 1. And we're going to have 2. We're going to have a play at home for the out. So second run scores, then the third out at home. Blue Devils score 2. We'll come back for the bottom half of the first right after this. If you're interested in your business having a banner on the outfield fence or stadium entry, go to www.4tees.com, click KCK Blue Devils Baseball, then click Download Banner Brochure, or call Tony Tompkins at 913-288-7150. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the first. Bolin, Edwards, and Lassiter scheduled up to face Gabriel Ramos. Ramos, the pitcher of the second game, a righty. Bolin steps in on the left side. Takes strike called on the outside corner. He was 0 for 3 in the first game, a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Swing and a miss of that pitch. Outside part of the zone. Quickly 0-2 the count. Bolin down in the count to Ramos. Outside. 1-2 the count. Bottom half of the first inning, Blue Devils scored 2 in the first. There's a fly ball to deep right center on the run. It's going to be off the base of the wall, so a stand-up double after being down in the count 0-2 for Bolin. It's going to bring up Edwards. Edwards will be the catcher in the second game. He was 0 for 3 with 0 for 2. Fly out, a strikeout, and a hit by pitch. In the first game, he'll be up there with a runner at second base after that double off the right center wall by Bolin. A little bit high, ball one. Want to know the count to Noah Edwards, the catcher for this second game. Fly ball into shallow center field. Coming over to take care of that is the right fielder, Adams. A long run for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Laster. Boone Laster, the shortstop. He was 0 for 2 in the first game with a strikeout, a pop out, and a walk. Breaking pitch right through there for strike one. Oh, and 1 the count on Laster. Leadoff double by Bolin. He's at second. Inside. Laster mad at himself for not wearing that one on the inside. Ball headed for right field. Gonna be an RBI base hit for Lassiter. Is that 2 runs in or just their first? It's going to bring up Hill. Hill was 0 for 3 in the first game. He steps in with a runner at first. Strike called. One ball, one strike. 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. There's a throw to first. Back in there safely is Laster. Base hit to right field just under the glove of Carnegie. Carnegie was over towards second base. So runners at first and second, 1 run in for the Cardinals. It's going to bring up Schaefer, the right fielder. Schaefer was 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the first game. Line drive headed straight at the shortstop Acosta. So the second out of the inning on the line drive over to second, but back in safely was the runner. Two down. Going to bring up Nishaw. Takes outside ball 1. Nishaw was 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out in the first game. He's in there with 2 outs and 2 on. Ground ball cut off by Hutchinson over to first base for the third out of the inning. So at the end of one, Blue Devils lead 2-1. We'll take a break. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the top half of the first inning. Hutchinson, Morrow, and Paniagua scheduled up for the Blue Devils. That ball's out of play. Oh, and 1 the count on Hutchinson. Hutchinson was 1 for 2 with a home run in the first game. That ball just misses inside, so 1 ball, 1 strike. He was also hit by a pitch, but he had a home run in the 6th to cut the deficit to but 1, and that was the best we could do. Is that volume a little better? Sis, you might put me a little note on there. Here comes the pitch. There's a line drive headed up the middle. It's going to be a base hit to lead things off here in the top of the second for Palmer Hutchinson. It's going to bring up Zane Morrow, the designated hitter in the second game. Morrow did not play in the first game. Steps in on the left-handed side. Strike called on the outside corner at the knees. Runner at first after the base hit is Hutchinson. Morrow at the plate, throw over to first, back in safely. Throw over to first again, back in safely. Ball. Misses just a little bit outside. 2 balls and a strike. Hutchinson led off the top of the second with a base hit. Morrow's up there with nobody out. Fly ball lifted to left field. Edwards makes that look a little tougher, a little bit of wind messing with that ball, so Morrow out on a fly out to left field. It's going to bring up Paniagua. Paniagua was 0 for 3 in the first game. Curveball makes it back to the zone for strike one called. That play in left field was made by Enrique Serrano, one of the changes in the lineup. There's a swing and a miss on that one. Kind of hurrying things along in between the games because the MIAA teams need to practice. So they started this game and moving things right along. That misses just a little bit outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Paniagua. Paniagua's up there with 1 out and a runner at first. Swing and a miss. For the strikeout down is Paniagua. It's going to bring up Carnegie. Carnegie was down on strikes his first time up. He'll step in with a runner at first base. Curveball right through there, strike called. Number 4 son. Making a phone call to me. Got too many things going on here. In the dirt, nicely blocked by the catcher Collingsworth. Runner goes. Foul back to the screen. Ball hit it into left field, so a left field hit for Carnegie. So runners at first and second with 2 outs for Everett. Everett walked his first time up. Broke just a little bit outside for ball 1. Comes the pitch. Ball headed for left field. That's going to be an RBI hit for Everett. So 1 run scores on the base hit to left by Everett. So a 3-1 lead by the Blue Devils. It's going to bring up Acosta. He had a base hit his first time up. He'll step in with 2 runs. 2 runners on, actually. Curveball right back through the zone. Strike 1 called. Acosta the shortstop. Back-to-back base hits for Carnegie and Everett. A fly ball to left field. See how deep that is. Serrano coming around, making a play on that. So at the end of 1.5, Blue Devils have a 3-1 lead. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Forties is partnering with KCK Baseball for our third season to bring fans live stream broadcasts of Blue Devils baseball. Whether you're a business looking to advertise, alumni who wants to give back to the program, or a parent/grandparent who wants to help financially, there's an option for you. For details, go to www.forties.com and click KCK Baseball. All right, here we go to the bottom of the second inning. The bottom half of the inning. Enrique Serrano did not play in the first game. His duties are in left field for this game. He takes strike one on the outside corner at the knees. He's had some work out in the outfield already. He's happy to come to the plate. There's a foul ball back to the screen so quickly. 0-2 down in the count is Serrano. Serrano, Kuntz, and Pierce scheduled up for the Cardinals. A Labette. Comes the 0-2 from Ramos. Misses a little bit outside. Foul ball back and out of play. Three to 1 lead the Blue Devils. Comes the wind in, the pitch from Ramos. There's a ground ball headed to the backhand side of the shortstop. Up with it. It's going to be an infield hit for Serrano. It's going to bring up Kuntz. Kuntz was 2 for 2 in the first game, had a double and a single. High and inside, ball one. Brandon Kuntz, the third baseman, number 24. Just catches the inside corner, does that breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first, leadoff base hit by Serrano. Throw over to first. Back in safely is Serrano. Ball headed into left field, on the run hard, and can't quite make the play is the left fielder. So coming hard on that one is Henry, not able to make the play, going to be a base hit. Not sure if that'll be scored an error or a base hit, but nonetheless, runners at first and second, and that's going to bring up Pierce. Pierce was 1 for 2 with a 2-run home run in the first game. Strike called on that first pitch. So runners at first and second with nobody out for the Cardinals of the Labette. Outside. 1-1 the count. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. One ball, two strikes, nobody out, runners at first and second. The Cardinals threatening here in the bottom of the second. Ramos with the stretch and the pitch. Foul ball back and into the screen. Comes the pitch from Ramos outside. Throw back down to second, back in safely is Serrano. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So one out, that's going to bring up Bolin. Bolin led off the game with a double to right center. Hit the base of the wall. He was down 0-2 in the count when that happened. So runners at first and second. High and outside, ball one. Comes the pitch. Strike called outside corner at the waist. Up the middle, step on the bag, over to first for the 6 unassisted, then over to 3 double play. So at the end of 2, Blue Devils lead 3-1. We'll be back. All right, here we go to top of the third inning. Blue Devils leading 3-1. Sosa, Henry, and Hoover scheduled up for the Blue Devils. foul ball off of his foot. Sosa had a double, an RBI double his first time up. For those of you just checking in with us, the Blue Devils lost the first one to Labette. Score of 3-2. There's a line drive headed into left field right at Serrano. So we hit it right on the button, but right at Serrano for the out. It's going to bring up Henry. He was called out on strikes. He just buckled his knees on a breaking pitch inside half of the plate. He'll step in with one out and nobody on. Strike call, just catches the outside corner at the waist. Outside. 1-1 strike to Tyler Henry playing left field in this second game. He was a designated hitter in the first game. Foul ball over toward the third base dugout, so 1-2 the count on Tyler Henry. Ramos started the second game. Swing and a miss. So down on the strikes is Henry. First game was pitched by Mendez. Saw a little question there if you were talking about on the mound. 2 outs now. Hoover steps up. He had an RBI base hit his first time up. Takes outside, ball one, squares to bunt, pulls it back. Guess it said it, pitcher. Sorry about that. Just trying to read things and get it all going at once here. There's a strike right through there. So 1-1 strike to Hoover. Curveball makes it back to the strike zone. One ball, 2 strikes to the right fielder. Outside. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. Sosa with a line drive. Henry with a strikeout. Hoover up there trying to keep things going here in the top of the third. Blue Devils lead 3-1. Just misses a little bit outside. That's a pretty good pitch. 3-2 the count. Foul ball back and out of play. Yeah, I see I've got my sis on here giving me a hard time about my age. Producing the game, running the cameras, keeping track of things. The old man loves it. Comes the pitch from Roppel. There's another foul ball. I don't always do a good job of the multitasking with the camera. Kind of a new setup I'm working with. got a new switcher where I can go from one camera to the other, and sometimes I go to the left side and forget to come back to first. Here comes the pitch. There's a little nubber out toward the first baseman. The first baseman, Hill, grabs that, steps on the bag for the third out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the third. Blue Devils lead 3-1. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half. Bottom half of the third. Scheduled up for Labette, Edwards, Lassiter, and Hill. Lassiter flew out to right field his first time. Takes strike one. Comes the pitch. Foul ball down the third base side. Comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses just a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the catcher of the second game, Edwards. The ball headed into left field, so a solid base hit to left field for Edwards. So a leadoff hit for Edwards. That's going to bring up Lassiter. Lassiter had an RBI base hit in the first inning. He'll step in with a runner at first and nobody out. Turned on that one. Coach tried to make a grab down there on a ball that might have stung a little. 0-1 the count on Lassiter. Boone Lassiter, the shortstop. In the dirt, backhanded by Everett. Well, Bob, I appreciate those kind words, but sometimes I forget the camera where it's supposed to be. Comes the pitch. Another ball blocked out in front. Going to be a play at second. And out at second base. So Everett with a nice draw blocking it out in front of the plate. Kind of shaking his hand off a little bit there. May have taken it off the hand and then down to second to catch Edwards trying to move up. So 2 balls and a strike on Lassiter now with 1 out after the caught stealing. The foul ball over toward the third base dugout. Comes the wind in the pitch. There's a fly ball headed out into right field. That ball is deep and into the corner for extra bases. Long run for Adams, not able to catch up to that one over in the corner. So a 1-out double into the right field corner by Boone Lassiter. It's going to bring up Jacob Hill, the first baseman. He had a base hit to right field his first time up. He's up there with one out and a runner at second base after that double by Lassiter. Ramos with the pitch, foul back to the concrete, actually, the way it shot back out of there. 0-1 the count. Comes the pitch, breaking pitch right through there, strike two called. So 0-2 the count on the first baseman, Hill. Fly ball to right field. Underneath that is Adams. He's got it, runner headed to third. And he's going to be into third safe. Moves up on that fly to right field by Hill. It's going to bring up Schaefer. Schaefer hit a line drive rocket right at the shortstop his last time up. He'll step in with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Schaefer, the right fielder, number 12. Swing and a miss. Little wave at that breaking ball. Oh and 1. Ball headed at Hutchison. Over to Sosa. Hey, I got the camera right that time. Sweet, I like it when it works right. A 6-3 for the put out at the end of 3 full innings. Blue Devils lead 3-1. We'll be back for the 4th. If you're interested in your business having a banner on the outfield fence or stadium entry, go to www.4tees.com, click KCK Blue Devils Baseball, then click Download Banner Brochure, or call Tony Tompkins at 913-288-7150. All right, here we go to the top half of the 4th inning. Blue Devils scheduled up Hutchinson, Morrow, and Paniagua. Back to the mound for another inning of work is Roppel. Breaking pitch right through there. 0-1 the count. Hutchinson had a base hit to center field his first time up this game. Fly ball into shallow center field. Calling for that is the second baseman. The second baseman, Mason Pierce, with that play for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Morrow. Morrow, the designated hitter in the second game. He flew out to left field his first time up. He'll face Roppel with 1 out. Foul ball back and out of play. Ground ball headed at the first baseman, grabs a short hop, steps on the base. Nice play by Jacob Hill to get an unassisted put out of Morrow. It's going to bring up Paniagua, the center fielder. He struck out his first time up. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Squares to bunt, takes high and inside. Low and inside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Here with 2 outs. Top of the 4th action, Blue Devils lead 3-1. Outside corner strike called. 2-1 the count. Squares to bunt. It's going to be picked up foul. So 2-2 the count. The Saturday game has been moved to tomorrow at KCK. Not positive about the start times. I think they're the same as usual, but not sure. But I do know they've been moved. 2-2 the count. Foul ball backing up and over the top of us. Line drive right past the second baseman, so a 2-out hit by Paniagua to right field. So back to the top of the order with Carnegie. Carnegie 1 for 2 in this second game. A strikeout and a base hit to left field. He'll step in with 2 outs and a runner at first. Foul ball straight down. Top half of the 4th inning. Blue Devils with 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Let's throw to first. Ball gets away. Paniagua headed to second base. 1 run in the first for Labette for the 3-1 score currently here in the top of the 4th. So now Paniagua in scoring position. Carnegie at the plate. 2 outs. Breaking pitch. Ball headed into left center for a base hit. So an RBI base hit. Carnegie headed to second, turns that into a double. So an RBI double for Carnegie. So 4-1 the lead. It's going to bring up Everett. Everett walked and then had the RBI base hit in the second inning. So 4-1 the score. Pitch just misses a little bit outside to Everett. With first base open, you wonder if Griffin will get anything to hit here. We'll see. Says tomorrow's games are going to be 1 and 3:30, I see on a text. Thanks for checking that for me, sis. There's a strike called. Runner at second. Two out, hit by Carnegie. There's a ball headed for right field. Schaefer over to take a look at that, and he's got it for the final out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Blue Devils leading 4-1. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Nishaw, Serrano, and Kuntz scheduled up for Labette. Ramos back for another inning of work. Swing and a miss of that pitch. Nishaw grounded out to the shortstop, his first time up. Ball headed wide of third base down there. So quickly, 0-2 the count on Nishaw. Comes the wind in, the pitch from Ramos. The ball headed right up the middle, so a two-strike lead-off base hit for Nishaw right up the middle. So the Cardinals with hits for each of the lead-off 3 innings. So a runner at first with nobody out for Serrano. Serrano led the second off with an infield hit. Takes ball 1, 1-0 the count. Ground ball foul wide of third base. Runner at first, nobody out. Cardinals of Labette batting here in the bottom of the fourth. They trail 4-1. Comes the stretch and the pitch. Little pop-up on the infield. Coming in hard for that is Acosta, and he takes care of it for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Kuntz. Kuntz had a base hit his first time up in this game. He's the third baseman, number 24. He steps in. With a runner at first and 1 out. Just misses a little bit inside. 1-0 the count. The ball headed into left field for a base hit. So Kuntz with a base hit to left field. Nishaw at second, Kuntz at first. Pierce coming to the plate. Mason Pierce, the second baseman, he struck out his first time up. Misses, breaking ball a little bit outside and low. 1-0 the count on Mason Pierce. The ball headed into center field. Up with that ball and over to third base. So an RBI base hit for Mason Pierce, the second baseman. Makes it 4-2. So back to the top of the order. Tabola, the center fielder, he led the game off with a double. Then he hit into a 6-3 double play. His second at bat, he's up there with one out. There's a hit into right field. So we'll see if we're going to have a play at home. No, we are not. Coach holds him. So that's going to make the bases loaded for Edwards. So a base hit, a pop out on the infield, and then 3 base hits in a row. And the bases are loaded with one out for Noah Edwards. Edwards flew out to right center, then had a base hit to left field. We're going to have a visit to the mound. We'll take a short break. We'll find out what changes are made. We'll be back. The Cardinals are threatening. Forties is partnering with KCK Baseball for our third season to bring fans live stream broadcasts of Blue Devils baseball. Whether you're a business looking to advertise, alumni who wants to give back to the program, or a parent/grandparent who wants to help financially, there's an option for you. For details, go to www.forties.com and click KCK Baseball. Four to 2 the score. Strike on the check swing there to Edwards. So 0-1 the count. He's up there seeing if he can cut the deficit, tie it, or put the Cardinals ahead. Just misses a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases full of Cardinals. Blue Devils clinging to a 4-2 lead. The Cardinals threatening here with the bases loaded and 1 out. They trail by 2. Safe on that check swing. Strike called. Two and 2 the count. Bases loaded. 1 out. Ramos still on the mound for the Blue Devils. The ground ball headed at the third baseman over to Carnegie. and back to first. So Hutchinson, Carnegie to Sosa for the 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. We go to the top of the fifth. Blue Devils 4, Cardinals 2. All right, here we go to the top of the fifth inning. Roppel back for another inning of work. Acosta, Sosa, and Henry scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Acosta with a base hit and a fly out so far in this second game. He'll lead off the top of the fifth for the Blue Devils. There's a ball headed just into left field for a base hit. So one pitch and a base hit to left field for Eduardo Acosta. It's going to bring up Sosa. Sosa had an RBI double in the first and a line drive right at the left fielder his second time up. He will step in with a runner at first base and no outs. Foul ball back to the screen. And 1 the count on the first baseman, Jose Sosa. Throw over to first, back in safely is Acosta. Strike right through there. Took a little off of it, bent it just a little bit right to the middle of the strike zone. Foul ball just gets a piece of that one to stay alive. Costa with a leadoff hit. Sosa at the plate. Foul ball over into the third base dugout. Got him scattering a little bit over there. Sun back out in pretty good fashion. It's been overcast off and on most of the day. Comes the stretch and the pitch from Roppel. Runner goes. There's a ball headed down the left field side, but going to be just wide of the base and foul. 4-2 lead for the Blue Devils here in the top of the fifth. Just a little bit outside, check swing, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Appeal to the outfield umpire, and he says no, he did not. So 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner at first. Sosa at the plate. Comes the pitch from Roppel. Runner goes. There's a fly ball headed deep to right field. That ball's going to be off the wall. Acosta had to hang up to be sure. So an RBI triple for Sosa. Makes it 5-2. It's going to bring up Tyler Henry. Henry's got a couple of strikeouts in this game. He's got a runner at third base with nobody out. See if he can get him home. Get another RBI on the board for the Blue Devils. Here comes the pitch from Roppel. Curveball bends right into the strike zone for a strike 1 called. Oh, and 1 the count. Swing and a miss of that pitch. Oh, and 2 on Henry. 1 run in the inning on that triple by Sosa after the single by Acosta. Outside in the dirt, nicely blocked by the catcher, Edwards. Edwards, the catcher in the second game. Collingsworth caught the first. The stretch and the pitch. Just misses just a little bit. That ball's too close for me to take. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Henry. Two balls, 2 strikes, runner at third, nobody out. Curveball, waits on it, gets a base hit into left field. So an RBI base hit for Henry. Makes it 6-2. We're going to get a visit to the mound. We'll take a break, see if there's a change. We'll be back. Four T's is partnering with KCK Baseball for our 3rd season to bring fans live stream broadcasts of Blue Devils baseball. Whether you're a business looking to advertise, alumni who wants to give back to the program, or a parent/grandparent who wants to help financially, there's an option for you. For details, go to www.4ts.com and click KCK Baseball. All right, visit to the mound's over with. No change being made. Trey Hoover, the right fielder, will step in. He's had an RBI base hit and grounded out unassisted to first base, his 2 at-bats. A little bit inside. Two runs in the inning to make a total of 6 for the Blue Devils. High and outside. Two and 0 the count on Trey Hoover, number 13, the right fielder. Roppel still in there. There's a curveball down the right for left field line, and foul. Two balls and a strike. Roppel to Hoover. Runner at first, Tyler Henry, after that RBI base hit to left field. Just misses a little bit outside. 3-1 the count on Hoover. Misses just a little bit low and inside, so a base on balls to Hoover. Going to make runners at first and second for Palmer Hutchinson. We're going to get a pitching change. We'll figure that change out, and we'll be back. All right, pitching change has been made. Number 28, Josh Praley, comes into the game. Josh is from Independence, Kansas. He will come on in relief of Josh Roppel. Bases have runners in first and second. Hutchinson at the plate. First pitch to Hutchinson's high and inside. Hutchinson has a base hit and a pop out into shallow right center his first time up. 1-0 the count on the third baseman, Hutchinson. Pop up back and out of play behind us. The stretch from Praley, squares to bunt, pulls it back. Takes outside ball. Two balls and a strike. on Hutchinson. Squares to bunt. Tries to put it down, fouls it back to the screen. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Palmer Hutchinson. Runners at first and second. Still nobody out. 2 runs in the inning. 6-2 lead for the Blue Devils. There's a ball headed into center field. That's going to be down. It's going to hold the runners 1 move up. So runners at all bases. So full of Blue Devils are the bases, and that's going to bring up Zane Morrow. Zane Morrow has the DHing duties in the second game. Morrow is from Parkville, Missouri. He'll step in with nobody out and runners at all spots. Little bit low, ball 1. Morrow flew out to left field and then out on a ground out unassisted to first base his second time. So that's his 0 for 2 at bats in this game. He's up there with the bases loaded, nobody out, with a chance to get after this a little bit. There's a ball headed at the second baseman over to the shortstop. So Pierce to Laster to Hill for the double play, but a run does score, making it a 7. It's going to bring up Ray Paniagua with a runner at third. 7-2 the score. Paniagua has a strikeout and a base hit in this game. Squares to bunt. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner at the knees. 0-1 the count on Raymond Paniagua. Hoover at third. Ball's going to get away, and coming in to score on that wild pitch is Hoover. Eight two. Paniagua up there now with nobody on. Two outs inside. 2 balls and a strike to Raymond Paniagua, the center fielder of the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils leading 8-2. Foul ball backing out of play. Fly ball headed to deep right field, line drive. That ball is out of here. So Raymond Paniagua with the opposite field home run. To make it 9-1. So back to the top of the order in Carnegie. So a 9-2 lead here in the top of the 5th. There's a strike called. 0-1 the count. Carnegie's had a strikeout, a base hit, and an RBI double in this second game. He's up there with nobody on and 2 outs. That ball stays just inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Seth Carnegie. Ground ball hit it up the middle. So Carnegie with a couple of singles and a double in this second game. It's going to bring up Everett. Everett has a walk, an RBI base hit, and a fly out to deep right field. He'll be up there with a runner on first, Carnegie, and 2 outs. Strike on the outside corner at the knees. Nine to the score. Top of the 5th. Regulation game scheduled 9 innings. Swing and a miss. Took a little off of it on the outside. Port of the plate comes up empty. Does Everett. Comes the 1-1. Runner goes way outside. So a stolen base by Carnegie. One ball and 2 strikes. Inside, that's going to be a wild pitch probably rather than a pass ball. So Carnegie moves to third on the wild pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Some more of the scoreboard's working. It's just slowly coming around. It just wants to be sure it's working for tomorrow when you guys get ready to play Washburn. The Ichabods will be in town to play the Gorillas in the MIAA action. There's a ground ball headed to the shortstop. He's up with it and over to first base. So Laster to Hill for the 3rd out of the inning. 9-2 lead by the Blue Devils. We'll be back for the bottom half of the 5th. Ramos back to the mound for another inning of work. Scheduled up is Lassiter, Hill, and Schaefer for the Cardinals. The ball headed for left field. To take care of that is Tyler Henry. Laster had a base hit and then a double, had an RBI base hit, and then hit that line drive on a button right at Tyler Henry for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Hill. Hill had a base hit to right field and flew out to right field. He'll be up there with one out and nobody on. Hill's the first baseman, number 10. Inside, just misses a little, 1-0. Comes the 1-0. Check swing and a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curveball outside. He couldn't help it. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here for the Cardinals, a Labette. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. Cardinals won the first game 3-2. That ball stays inside just a bit, so 3-1 the count. Ground ball headed to third base. Hutchison up with it. Long throw over to first for a 5-3 second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Schaefer. Schaefer hit a line drive rocket right at the shortstop, his first at bat in the first inning. Then grounded out to the third baseman, his second time up. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Ball all the way back to the screen, ball 1. One and 0 the count to the right fielder, Schaefer. Strike called at the waist, outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Cardinals batting here in the bottom of the 5th. Ball's a little bit low, 2-1. 9-inning regulation scheduled game. Curveball swung at and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard decided to take a break again. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strike 3 called outside corner. We go to the top of the 6th. Blue Devils lead 9-2 over the Cardinals of Labette. We'll be back. If you're interested in your business having a banner on the outfield fence or stadium entry, go to www.4tees.com, click KCK Blue Devils Baseball, then click Download Banner Brochure, or call Tony Tompkins at 913-288-7150. So a new pitcher for the Cardinals, Kail Hutchins from Collinsville, Oklahoma. He'll face Acosta, Sosa, and Henry here in the top of the 6th. A little bit high, ball 1. Outside. Acosta has 2 base hits and a flyout in this second game. High ball. 3-0 the count, I believe. Left-hander Kail Hutchins. Ball 4. So a leadoff walk issued to Eduardo Acosta. It's going to bring up Jose Sosa. He's had an RBI double and an RBI triple. 2 for 3 in this second game. Ball 1 to Sosa. Costa at first. Sosa at the plate. Hutchins on the mound in relief, a lefty for the Cardinals. Not sure where that ball missed, but ruled the ball must have been a little up. Little breaking ball didn't make it quite back down to the zone. Sun trying to come back out again. High and inside. Runner at first after the leadoff walk. Strike right through there. Comes the pitch. Ground ball right back up the middle. Gonna try and grab it. Does the second baseman, and it's off of his glove. We're going to end up with runners at second and third, so that's going to be an error on the second baseman, Pierce. It's going to bring up Henry. Henry had an RBI base hit to left field his last time up. He'll be up there with nobody out and runners at second and third. At third is Acosta. At second is Sosa. Comes the pitch. Into right field is that ball. The right fielder comes in. He's got it bluffed toward home. Slow a fly to right field for the out. So 1 out. That's going to bring up Hoover. Hoover has an RBI base hit, a ground out to first, and then a walk scored on a wild pitch. 1 out. Just misses a little bit high and outside does that pitch. Comes the 1-0. Little check swing. going to be out at first, but a run will score, so an RBI ground out to Hoover. Makes it 10. 10-2. I think what I'm seeing on the scoreboard is it's dim now. When it brightens up, everything is working. So it's like it's only getting half power, and half means half the stuff. So that's going to bring up Hutchinson. Takes high, ball one. Got a runner at third. 2 outs. Couple of base hits and a pop out for Hutchinson. This second game, pitch stays outside. 2-0 the count to Hutchinson, the third baseman. A little bit low. Sosa at third. He reached on an error, had a ball hit right up the middle. The shortstop and the second baseman coming over, and ends up me giving an error from my spot to the second baseman. But the two of them not communicating. That's ball 4 to Hutchinson. So runners at the corners with 2 outs. That's going to bring up Zane Morrow, left-handed versus left-handed here. Morrow, the designated hitter in the second game. He's flown out, grounded out, and hit into a 4-6-3 double play that did yield a run. That ball misses just a little bit inside. Looked pretty good to me, but nonetheless ruled a ball. 1-0 the count to Zane Morrow. 10-2 lead with the Blue Devils batting here in the top of the 6th. 9-inning scheduled game. There's a foul ball down the right field line and out of play. Two outs, 2 on. Hutchins on in relief of Praley. Pitches outside. Ground ball headed to the second baseman. He's going to toss it over, so Pierce to Lassiter for the third out of the inning. We go to the bottom half of the 6th with the Blue Devils leading the Labette Cardinals 10-2. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. We're almost back for another inning of work. There's a pitch a little bit low for ball. Nishaw, Serrano, and Kuntz. Not sure what that pitch was. We just discussing up here all of the NCAA cancellations and Major League Baseball. There's a swing and a miss. Cancellations and what that's going to do with these young men that play and just all of the sports. There's a ball, just a little bit of a flinch by the umpire, but ruled inside. Nishaw with a base hit and a ground out so far in this game. There's a ground ball headed at Palmer Hutchison over to Jose Sosa. And there's my late not doing a good job getting it over. Got to see a heck of a play by the third baseman, but not the snag over at first base. But nonetheless, a 5-3 out on Nishaw. That's going to bring up Enrique Serrano. He's had a base hit and a fly out to the shortstop. He'll step in. Here with one out. Breaking ball stays inside, so 2-0 the count to Serrano. Comes the 2-0 ground ball foul over toward the third base dugout. So 2 balls and a strike to Enrique Serrano, the left fielder, in the second game. Strike there. Ramos's pitch. That ball hits him. Nothing you hate any more than to have 2 strikes on a batter and then pop him in the butt with a curveball. It's going to bring up Brendan Kuntz. He's had a couple of base hits in this second game. He'll step in with runner at first and 1 out. Takes ball low and outside. Five, 4, 3, double play to end the inning. So we go to the top of the 7th. Blue Devils lead 10-2. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the top of the 7th. Hutchins in for another inning of work. Paniagua, Carnegie, and Everett scheduled up. That ball must have missed just a little bit high. It's been consistent there, but it's really a tight top of the zone. 1-0 the count to Paniagua. He's had a base hit, a home run in this second game. That misses high, ball 2. So 2 for 3 with an RBI is Paniagua in this second game. 10-2. There's a strike right through there, cuts across the plate from Kail Hutchins, the left-hander, tall left-hander. Paniagua at the plate, the center fielder. He leads off the top of the 7th for the Blue Devils. Inside and back to the screen. 3-1 the count. Wind in the 3-1 to Paniagua. Ground ball, that's going to be headed into left field for a hit. So Paniagua with a base hit into left field here to lead off the top of the 7th. That's going to bring up Carnegie. Carnegie has a couple of singles and a double in this game. Ball breaks inside for ball 1. Carnegie, the second baseman, number 6, batting on the right-handed side, facing the lefty. Hutchins, runner at first, nobody out. 10-2 lead for the Blue Devils here in the second one. Labette, Cardinals won the first one 3-2. Runner goes, bluffs to go, comes back, misses outside. 2 balls and a strike to Seth Carnegie. Swing and a miss of that fastball. Hutchins came with a little heat there and ran it right past him. That's high ball 3. So 3-2 the count on Carnegie. Runner at first in Paniagua after the base hit into left field. 3-2 to Carnegie. Ground ball right back up the middle. Paniagua's going to go first to third. And into second, and safe is Carnegie. So Carnegie with 2 doubles and 2 singles in this second game. Runners at second and third now. It's going to bring up Everett, runners at second and third. We're going to get a visit to the mound. We'll be back. All right, the visit to the mound over. Everett steps in, takes strike 1. hilarious. Strike called, 0-1 the count on Everett. There's a ball headed into the left field corner, so that's going to be extra bases and 2 RBI for Griffin Everett. He gets a stand-up double, 2 RBI into the left field corner, makes it 12-2. So that's going to bring up Acosta. Acosta has a couple of base hits, a fly out, and a walk in this second game. He'll step in with nobody out. Runner at second. Takes high ball 1. 1-0 the count on Eduardo Acosta. Stretch and the pitch from Hutchins. Outside. 2-0 the count. Hutchins in his second inning of relief. Inside. 3-0 the count on the shortstop, Acosta. Inside, ball 4. Going to have a pitching change. We'll be back after that change is made. All right, left-handed pitcher James Rithrow from Little Rock, Arkansas, comes in to pitch for Labette. Jose Sosa steps in. Grounds one foul past the third base bag. He's got an RBI double, an RBI triple, a line drive to left field, and reached on an error. He just hit a rocket just foul down the left field line. Comes the 0-1 in the dirt, nicely blocked by the catcher, Edwards. One and one the count. Ball hit down the right field line. Going to be foul. One ball, two strikes. Jose Sosa, the first baseman at the plate. Swing and a miss for a strikeout. It's going to bring up Henry. Henry's had a couple of strikeouts, an RBI base hit, and a fly out to deep right field. He'll step in with one out, runners at first and second. 12-2 lead for the Blue Devils. They bat here in the top of the seventh. Foul ball past Coach Goldbeck. Down at third. Comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Swing and a foul ball, I believe. Withrow on in relief for the Cardinals. There's a ball headed to right field. It's going to be an RBI base hit for Henry. So one run in. So that'll bring up Hoover. Hoover's had an RBI base hit, 2 ground outs, 2 first base unassisted. Ball hit to deep right field. That ball's out of here. A 3-run home run for Trey Hoover. Makes it 16-2. So that's going to bring up Palmer Hutchinson. He's had a couple base hits, a pop out, and a base on balls. Takes strike one called. (16-2). The Blue Devils lead the Cardinals of Labette here in the top of the seventh. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Palmer Hutchinson, the third baseman. Hit by a pitch is Hutchinson. So one out. Going to have a pinch hitter here. Number 5, Kail Chastain from Asbury, Missouri, is going to hit for Zane Morrow. Misses ball. Strike right through there. 1 ball, 1 strike to the pitch hitter, Chastain. Outside, nope, strike called on the outside corner, 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Ray Paniagua. He started this all off with a base hit to left field. So this is hitter number 10 coming to the plate for the Blue Devils. 2 outs. Outside and low, 1-0 the count on Ray Paniagua. Paniagua's had a couple of base hits and a home run here in this second game. A little bit high. 2-0 the count with row 2, Ray Paniagua. High fly ball to left field. Over to take a look at that is Serrano. Actually, the center fielder ends up taking it in Bolin for the 3rd out of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 7th with the Blue Devils leading 16-2. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Cardinals need several to keep this thing going. Michael Edgar in to catch for the Blue Devils. Ramos back to the mound. Outside to Mason Pierce. Pierce, Bolin, and Edwards scheduled up for the Cardinals. There's a ground ball to Hutchinson over to first for the 1st out of the inning, a 5-3 ground out. So back to the top of the order to Bolin. Bolin's had a double, hit into a double play and a single, so 2 for 3 with a double and a single for Bolin. He takes strike 1 outside, corner at the knees. Comes the wind and the pitch. That's low. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Ramos to Bolin, the center fielder. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Strike 2 called inside corner at the knees. So 2-2 the count with 1 out here to Nick Bolin. Curveball. Ground ball to Sosa. He takes care of it, steps on the bag for a 3 unassisted put out. It's going to bring up Edwards, the catcher. Edwards had a fly out, a base hit, and hit into a double play. Swing and miss of that breaking pitch. So 0-1 the count. 16-2 at this point. Low and outside. The Cardinals down to their last out for the time being. Strike called on the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So for the time being, down to their last strike. Ramos trying to finish this thing off all on his own. That's high, ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ramos trying to go the distance. Curveball hits him. So that's going to bring up Lassiter, Boone Lassiter, the shortstop. He's had an RBI base hit, a double, and a line drive into left field. He's hit it hard this second game. He'll be up there with 2 outs. That's low. Ball 1. Ball 2 low. So Ramos working low and quickly here. Comes the 2-0. Ground ball headed right up the middle. Caught by the shortstop Acosta. Backhand to Carnegie for the final out of the inning and of the game. So the Blue Devils split. They lose the first one 3-2, win the second one 16-2. The final score here in 7 innings is 16-2. Everybody watching all of the cancellations will see how that affects these guys as well. The final score for this one, 16-2. Scheduled to play tomorrow afternoon, plan to live stream from KCK at 4Ts.com. Thank you all very much for watching and or listening, and we'll see you next time. Have a safe evening.